Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jeanelle. Slade. Jay is off tonight. A U.S. District Court judge out of Missoula puts a stop to the start of Wyoming's grizzly hunt this weekend. Judge Dana Christensen granted a 2-week temporary restraining order, giving Native American tribes and environmental groups more time to make their case. The request for a temporary restraining order and preliminary injunction was filed this afternoon. MTN's Dennis Bragg reports.
U.S. District Court Judge Dana Christensen is being asked to overturn the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service decision to remove the Yellowstone grizzlies off the list of threatened species, turning management to the states. The bears would still be protected inside Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks, but Wyoming and Idaho are already planning limited hunts outside the parks. This week, critics held press conferences and demonstrated outside the federal courthouse, complaining grizzlies would be slaughtered, reversing years of recovery. Inside, attorneys complained the feds abandoned reason with glaring deficiencies in science, leaving state plans that create new threats to bears that didn't exist before, especially with increasing conflicts with people. They condemn the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service for taking a damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead approach.
But all the scientific papers are all pointing in one direction, that you got to have thousands, not hundreds of bears. And there's no scientific dispute on that in the peer-reviewed literature. And that was the point we tried to make. They might be okay over the next several decades, but that's not recovery under the statute. Long-term recovery is more like 50 plus, 100 plus years. And that's what the science is, I think, consistently saying, you need more bears.
Certainly, we think it's really important for the service to decide the fate of Yellowstone bears based on current science, not science that's stale at this point.
As with any endangered species lawsuit, case law becomes increasingly important. At this morning's hearing, we heard about everything from marbled murrelet to Arctic grayling to wolves, as both sides try to convince Judge Christensen of their opposing viewpoints. State and federal attorneys argue grizzly numbers are improving, which is something to celebrate. That, quote, the bears are doing great. They say bears would remain under the watchful eye of the Interagency Grizzly Bear Committee, and further, delisting allows biologists to focus recovery on the Bitterroot, Northern Divide, and the Cabinet Yaak, addressing the connectivity question of where bears wander and building public support for recovery.
Well, I think people are watching the case very closely, but my comments on public support is that it may not be universal. For some people it's support, some people it's tolerance, but it's absolutely essential if we're going to have bears on the landscape over the long run in Montana. We need to maintain it, we need to cultivate it.
It feels historic, and the defendants, made, I think, a really weak case saying people are tired of it and they want it to be over. Yeah, we get to get tired, but we have to do the job right. And the feds got caught cutting the corners.
In Missoula, Dennis Bragg, MTN News.
Thanks, Dennis. Judge Christensen's decision to issue the temporary restraining order gives him at least 14 days to make a final ruling. But some hunters have been waiting decades for this opportunity. And for outfitters in the area, this ruling is the exact opposite of what they wanted. CBS's Stan Bush talked to one outfitter who says Wyoming's cull is for the best.
Wyoming's backcountry is untamed.
Typical hunts are 7 total days.
It's where Taylor Ingham makes his living, saddling horses and packing mules to take hunters into the wild.
I became an outfitter because I wanted to share this place with people from all over the country.
Around this time, Ingham is usually focused on elk season. But this year, he's one of only a handful of outfitters that has been licensed to hunt for grizzly bears.
This is definitely a core grizzly habitat. A lot of bears live in this valley.
This land saw grizzlies thrive, then go nearly extinct, and now return to the point where Wyoming officials say grizzlies can be hunted again. Ingham knows the grizzlies are out there. His game cameras have frequent close encounters with them. Ingham's game cameras saw up close bears we only saw traces of. Still, outfitters say they're taking a risk dedicating so much to the hunt.
Possible that they're out here for 10 days and they don't get one?
It is possible. The hunt depends so much on the weather and the time of year.
But the hunt coincides with elk season, attaching it to controversy. Hunters say a bear will likely find where an elk had been killed and gutted within a day. Baiting is outlawed, but sitting on a kill and waiting for a bear to come is legal. Opponents worry this hunt will be a slaughter. Ingham and supporters say it's a part of conservation, and he's not optimistic about his chances.
If there's no cost benefit to doing this, why do it?
I believe that we should hunt grizzly bears because they're part of the ecosystem. They have an effect on elk. Elk has an effect on them.
Hunters say while there may only be about 700 grizzlies in the region, they're concentrated in an area that's unhealthy for the rest of the ecosystem, putting livestock, wild game, even people at risk. But Wyoming appears to be alone in this stance. They've issued permits that could kill up to 22 bears. Idaho will only allow 1 grizzly to be killed, and Montana won't allow any at all.
The plan is solid, the population is solid, and I think that it's going to continue to be.
Wyoming hunters say hunting grizzly bears is their right, a statement about their way of life and something they've worked towards for 40 years, the last time there was a grizzly season here.
A Billings man is now accused of leaving his toddler home alone with drug supplies. 29-year-old Andrew New is charged with endangering the welfare of his 2-year-old daughter on July 5th. Officers breached the door when they heard the child cry. The child was dirty with a wet diaper. Police also found a digital scale, a knife, a bag of syringes, and empty needles. The child also tested positive for methamphetamine. New was booked into jail earlier this month on suspicion of drug use and parole violation. Turning to weather, Ed McIntosh is in for Bob McGuire. And Ed, tomorrow's the last day of August, and unofficially it kind of feels like the end of summer.
That's right. In the weather game, we always consider June, July, and August as the summer months. And then once we get into September, we start to see more fall weather patterns come together. And for the season, we had a little over 6 inches of rainfall. It leaned a little towards the wet side compared to the records back from 1934. And our average temperature was just a little bit on the cool side, although comfortable across most of the summer months. We did have those hot days, though. We hit 103. That was the warmest reading on August 12th, and June 12th was the day we had the coolest summertime reading as the temperatures dropped down into the low 40s. We'll take a look at that early fall forecast coming up.
Thanks so much, Ed. The state of Arizona has said its final goodbyes to Senator John McCain. His body was then flown to Washington, D.C. CBS's Mola Lenghi reports from Capitol Hill.
Arizona offered one last farewell to Senator John McCain, who represented them in Congress for more than 3 decades. At times, the service at North Phoenix Baptist Church was moving.
To everything there is a season.
It was musical. But above all, it was a celebration of a unique American statesman.
Senator McCain, it's been a true honor to call you friend.
Larry Fitzgerald is a wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals.
While some might find our friendship out of the ordinary, it was a perfect example of what made him an iconic figure of American politics and service to fellow man.
Former Vice President Joe Biden delivered the eulogy. He said his friendship with McCain endured despite their political differences.
We understood the same thing. All politics is personal. It's all about trust. And I trusted John with my life.
A bagpiper played in a nod to the senator's Scottish heritage. The service for the Maverick senator concluded with Frank Sinatra's My Way. The farewell to Senator McCain now moves east to Washington. His body arrived at Joint Base Andrews this evening. Tomorrow, McCain will lie in state here at the U.S. Capitol. A memorial service with McCain's congressional colleagues will be held Friday morning. Then, the rotunda will be open to the public. Mola Lenghi, CBS News on Capitol Hill.
Both of Montana senators were in Phoenix today to honor Senator McCain.
John McCain is a great American hero and is a fitting tribute today. Members from both sides of the aisle attending the service, as well as Republicans and Democrats giving tributes from up front. It was a very honoring day for Senator McCain and for his family.
John McCain worked across the aisle. He did what he thought was right for the country first. Not what was right for him, not what was right for his party, but what was right for the country. And that was pretty clearly expressed today at the funeral.
Senator McCain's funeral again will be held at the National Cathedral on Saturday. He will be buried Sunday on the grounds of the U.S. Naval Academy in Maryland. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, buckle up. We have some important car seat safety updates to keep in mind. We'll show you. Plus, this girl expected some rough times this summer, but a lot of preparation made for calm waters. We'll take you along on her adventure.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.